No, hold on. There was a dispute between a gigolo or a farmer who was first. I personally think it was farmers were first, because you don't want to have sex on an empty stomach. Well, all right, okay. Let's put this into perspective. We're now 3.5 hours into a delay.
Yeah.
And you're asking me for energy and excitement.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Tricky.
So we should have been on an aeroplane. We should have left. Correct me if I'm wrong. Flown out at 8:30.
We should have been.
We should be landing. We should be landing about now.
Yeah, we should have been in the air 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So this is the first kick-off for what will be a properly done series, which will be PX Podcast. However, we're completely delayed. It's completely derailed all plans tomorrow. James is purely coming back from where we are. So we're currently sat in Geneva Airport. We've been on a work trip.
Yeah.
And it is a work trip.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah,
We've done a lot of work. We've actually done surprisingly well.
But to save Tom getting out of bed at a sensible time tomorrow morning, he's demanded we do the first podcast.
Yes.
At 9:15 at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is perfect.
My bedtime.
Yeah.
That's long past your bedtime.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it can only go one way, hopefully.
Yeah.
But that's up to you.
What do
Tom.
you mean better?
Well,
Yeah.
And the idea of the podcast is this is where we're going to do a deeper dive on some of the bigger topics that we take up on like the main channel videos. So we can go on more depth on all things accountancy, grain trading, whatever people may ask. So put it in the comments, we'll have a look. We'll get people in the industry to come and have a chat with yourself, maybe even me if it's the technical stuff.
I'll check you
real
out.
tricky stuff. Yeah.
I'll check you out.
And you'll get a rise out of this.
I thought you were a face for radio. What's going on?
Well,
You're definitely trying to get behind the camera, or in front of the camera, sorry, aren't you?
Banana, his nickname at school.
We learned that, didn't we? Yeah.
you wear one yellow ski jacket and look, it's trouble. There's no end of trouble.
Yeah, so if anybody wonders why he was called Banana, then please put that in the comments, because my mind is running away with me on this.
Oh, God.
So young for you, Jimbo.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have learnt something today, haven't I, about when you send somebody an aubergine as a.
There's no way this makes the edit. There is not a chance.
But anyway, it doesn't mean would you like to go vegetable farming with me, as I've turned
As you've
out.
learned,
Yeah.
after Simon and I had to get involved on that one.
Yeah. It's extraordinary, actually, but there's a generational shift change here of perverts, actually.
Perverse.
Tom, do your favourite question. Spell it, James. James, what's the response I taught you earlier?
No, you can't say that on
About
camera.
sweaty.
No.
You only need to spell it.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, yes. Oh,
Some
yeah, that's
sharper
right.
words.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, every
Yeah.
time Tom tries
Second
to be
part.
clever, yeah.
So although we're actually chatting away here, like just looking back on the year that we've had, we're now 18 months into doing what we've done with media. Mm-hmm. And I think where we've come from, I mean, this is now Team Media minus Tom 2 on the merchandise.
Yeah.
So
He's busy packing.
He's busy packing.
He just had, how many orders have come through? He's having a meltdown, isn't he?
We've had to mute the phones on that one.
Yeah,
It's having quite a wobble.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, where we were when we first started this journey, the whole idea of it was we wanted to education within agriculture and change the industry. I think that was where we were aiming for with it. It was never to be famous or anything like that. I mean, the business never needed the media.
Although he was fanboyed at the Folly Dude.
Well, yeah, so that's where I was leading with this. To those who we met at Folly Deuce, which was
Royal Agricultural University, RAU, it used to be RAC in my time.
and
In
that's
Cirencester, yeah, there was 80 of them.
Yeah.
Looking like
Blowing
they're having a great time.
blowing the hunting horn,
Yeah.
stood in tweeds and ties, on top of the tables, dancing, having a great time, reminded me
Of your yesteryears.
of back in the day. Looked a lot of fun.
So go on then. So we've had a big year. What's
Yeah.
been your favourite video this year? We've done some cool bits. We kicked off the year.
Well, I know you say a year, but actually I think you need to refer to it as 18 months,
Okay,
because
do
this is
the
the
full
first
18.
time we've probably reflected on this.
Okay, do the full 18.
And I think to the beginning, you came along, didn't you? I went on a course called Help to Grow, which is a government-funded course, takes you out of the business. And a young lady I was sitting on the course with, she, I don't know why you're smiling, Tom.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, I bet you are
I'm
nervous.
panicking.
So this young lady on this course has kept saying to me, I think you ought to do, a farming YouTube video. And I said, no. I know this perfect guy. He's into videography. I can't even say it. Video.
Spell it.
Anyway, he's into whatever you do, Tom. And What I didn't appreciate was that at that particular time you were romantically engaged, and I didn't realise.
Whoops.
And did people not know that?
No, that's known.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's known because you've told that at every agri talk in Scotland. You're quite keen to reminisce on old
You
times.
weren't engaged.
No.
Well,
you're wrong.
she was about 12 years older than you.
I'm going to leave this conversation. I might cut that bit. Cougar. Before we get anyone else in trouble, Simon, I think we'll leave that one.
Anyway, so well, I've lost my train of thought now. But anyway, so we did that first one, didn't we?
Yep.
And
Well,
it was based.
no, but that was quite an amusing one, because he kept pestering you,
Yeah.
and then you found yourself, were you
No, he
knee
kept-
deep or something?
No, he kept asking me to do this video, and he gave me some price. I said no, thank you. Anyway, you know what he's like. He won't give up. So he kept coming at me. Anyway, so I said, I then did these videos for this course. I had to do a course on, what effect Help to Grow had done. So I thought, well, I'd do it on a video. So I contacted Tom and said, I've got all these little mini takes we've done, clips. Can we just put them together and see what Harvest 2024 is like? Mm-hmm. So I sent them to you, didn't I, Tom? Yep. And then you put it into a video, and we put it up. And all my previous videos I'd done on my Nuffield back in 2010, 2011, 2012, that sort of time. And it probably would have done something like 300 to 1,000 views, something of that order. But it might have taken, I don't know, a couple of years to get to 1,000.
Yeah.
And suddenly this did 12,000 views, pretty much, I suppose, within a week or so.
Yeah, that kind of number.
I thought you were digging a ditch or
Oh, no,
something.
that's for the first time I got
That was
him
the
out.
first video.
So I told him, I said, all right, we better come out, let's do one. And he said, where are you? I said, I'm down at Caldicott. We're looking for land drainage, trying to solve this problem.
Which meant nothing to me, so white trainers was appropriate.
So he turned up in his Ford,
Plimsolls.
what the hell is it? It's a Ford Cougar or
No,
something, isn't it?
Focus.
Oh, Focus, that's it, yeah, Ford Focus.
Cougar on the mark.
He's lost it now.
It's a, it's a Miami blue Ford Cougar.
is Miami
No,
blue.
sorry, Ford Focus. Anyway, and he turned up in his white plimsolls and his little tight budgie smuggler shorts. You know those gigolo types wear.
You can't.
And,
That has to go. That word will be muted.
What, gigolo?
No. Stop saying it because you're making me a lot of editing time here.
Oh, we're not allowed to say gigolo.
James, I'm going to fall out with you.
Well, what's wrong with the word?
Louise was never going to let that run. Keep going.
Go on.
No, but in agriculture we understand what that means. Anyway, so God,
Not the emojis.
the modern world, you're not allowed to say anything, are you? It's ridiculous. Anything that I understand, and then he comes up with things. I haven't got a clue what it was. I had to even ask him what IK meant the other day. IDK.
No, ICK.
Oh, I said.
Oh my God.
Anyway, IK. Right.
We got to the bottom of it, didn't
We
we?
got to the bottom of it. But I hadn't got a clue what you were talking about. Anyway, very interesting.
For those watching this video, I think just running through, this is our first run of this complete pilot episode. I think some notes, some prompts for the next one might be needed because we have been everywhere on this story so far. But carry on.
We're getting there.
We're
don't
getting there.
worry.
Keep going.
We're going in a straight line. Anyway, so Tom came out, and I happened to be the other side of the river at this point, and Tom got his camera in his hand. I said, we have to come this side. I'd driven across in the Range Rover, you see.
The car was sat the other side on the hill.
It's got wading
He was looking at
ability.
me, looking back
It's
at
got
the car.
wading ability, and he's the other side. Anyway, so I thought, this will see that this is where you're going to get the wheat from the chaff, right? So he stood the other side, and he says, "How are you going to get across?" I knew full well I could have got my car and fetched him. But I thought, sod that. And I said, "We've got to get across, man."
Which I did.
Off he did. He got across.
I got across.
Completely ruined those white trainers.
If you remember, Simon,
It's
I was
nearly
actually,
up
do you
to
remember
his-
I first met you after that? Because I came into the office afterwards, and then you were sitting in there, and you met me in said trainers that were muddy as anything, and you were actually there, but you wouldn't have remembered at the time.
Frowning at the odd chap in the office.
Gazelle-like.
I wouldn't have introduced myself. It's a hard knock in that office.
To be fair, he
isn't it?
got across the other side, didn't say anything about it. I was
okay.
I was privately laughing to myself. Well, I'm down in the bottom of this river trying to find a land drain, and but I had wellies on, so I was okay. But anyway, we did this video about whatever we were trying to solve at the time, and etc., and how much money it did, and that was the proper first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the first one we filmed and edited properly.
And again, that went really well. So we said, all right, we'll do another one. Anyway, Tom said, do you want to do these? I said, only if we can better the industry, really. I said, I was at that time so desperate for people to see the good side of farming, not just constantly run it into the ground and talk about all the troubles in it. And there's always been troubles in farming. I think there's troubles in any business, but I was so desperate that we could actually show that there is it's a good industry and it's worth being part of. And that's really the course we've been on, isn't it? We've had quite an adventure. I mean, Tom is now a self-claimed professor of farming, aren't you? And you're an expert
brilliant.
now,
Yeah.
So much of an expert, he now wants to actually compete against me on a field to see if he can produce a crop cheaper, with greater profit.
I might text Michael Horsch and just see if he's got any ideas. I might just go down the phone book and get the whole gang involved on the job. See what I can do.
And have we got a chosen crop yet, or can you
No,
choose your own
I
crop?
can pick any crop. No,
and
I'm
just
not
try and
being
make
limited.
it. So you
Well,
can
you
both
can't,
choose your
because
own.
the fields
No.
you're talking about is a break crop. There's no point
So
doing
the next
complete...
lesson, who can lose the least amount of money then?
Well,
We're both doing break crops. Don't
Yes.
give yourself a nice spring barley or something that you're going to put in malting.
No,
Okay.
no. It's break crops.
Okay.
Maybe next year you can have a big boy crop, but you've got to work up.
Okay, yeah.
You can't suddenly be driving the combine in year one, Tom.
Well,
You've got
To
to
show
start
you where
with-
GPS
you've
was
got
this
to
year, do you remember?
Oh, stop it. What are you talking about?
You didn't know how to turn on the GPS in the combine, did you?
I have no idea what you're talking
Doctor's
about.
Field, coming around the headland, and you were going, it won't turn, and you couldn't remember where the button was to activate the GPS.
No, you're talking about the new combine and what button you've got to press to make it activate. That's not how to work the GPS. That's how to turn it on the.
I'll find the clip, Simon. We'll pop it on top.
Here we go. Yeah. Oh dear.
So that's that competition is going to happen when?
Spring.
Spring.
Yeah. Well, I haven't fully agreed to this yet.
Okay, well, kind
Simon, sign it off.
of. Yeah,
Well
sign it off. How many acres?
Well, he wants 100.
I want 104 because the field across the road.
Yeah.
And am I allowed to do anything with it?
I don't know. What do you mean by that? Not ploughing. That doesn't mean you go ploughing with Glyn.
Would be some good content, though.
Is that what you're talking about? Go
my
plough? I don't think you should take the gigolo part out because actually.
No, I can't put that in, James.
Why?
Why
No,
not?
James,
I
that's
don't understand. I don't understand it.
No,
Why?
that's up there. No,
What's
no,
wrong with
Gigolo?
gigolo?
No, James, we cannot run.
Well, I'm googling it.
Why
okay,
do you
we'll come
find
back
it
to
so
this.
funny?
No, what I don't understand. What's
Fine,
wrong with
we'll leave
gigolo?
it. We'll leave it.
What's wrong with gigolo?
He's had some sort of experience with them, wasn't he?
What have you had? Have you got?
You can't.
It's something.
I don't
have-
think it's a word that can run. Let me check it out
No, it's
before
not.
we put the video
It's not
live.
racist.
Just pass me a
No,
phone.
no,
I'd like
we-
to look
no,
up
we have-
ChatGPT
no,
what
we
gigolo
have to
means.
carry on. We have to carry on.
It's a profession.
Yes,
Anyway.
it is a profession.
Right.
Like farming is a profession. You know, there is a dispute
Would you
between.
be better at that?
No, hold on. There is a dispute between a gigolo or a farmer who was first. I personally think it was farmers were first, because you don't want to have sex on an empty stomach.
Remove all the best content.
In my professional opinion, that might need to go. So look, we haven't quite got to the bottom of how this spring competition is going to work. Your mind is now currently elsewhere after our conversation that we've just had
Well,
between the audio
you guys keep coming up with words I don't know. Make me sound like I've been living under a stone.
He's only 7 years younger than you.
I know, but he's coming up with words. I mean, even you didn't actually know what that word was.
No, not a
There you
clue.
go.
What?
Don't read that out loud. No, James, don't read that out loud.
Well, that's very. That is. Why would you even know about that? That is extraordinary.
I'm well read.
Well read.
Well read. You can't read.
What, Perverts Weekly? Where the hell would you read something like that? That's revolting. It's not even decent.
I didn't make it, did I?
We have to be so
Can
well
we
behaved.
get
Right, are we ready to get back on track now?
back on track? Ploughing fields. You're still putting a ban on ploughing.
Why are you putting a ban on ploughing?
We're not.
If I factor in the cost,
We're
can
not.
we do it?
It's too late. We're not going spring ploughing on heavy clay land, turning up horse heads. It's just ridiculous, Tom. I mean, if it was a real competition where you had to pay me the money that you lost, I'd let you go ploughing.
But what if I make more money doing it?
That sounds
Well, you
like
can keep it.
That sounds.
Oh, so hang on. So if I pay the downside,
Yeah.
I can keep the upside.
Yeah.
Are you in?
No, hang on. We're not going to numbers on this yet.
Get
Oh,
Nicky
not
Blake
feeling-
on the
not-
phone.
There was Nicky B. Can we get Nicky B on the line?
Yeah. You're not fit. Well, who's he going to be supporting on this decision?
Oh, I don't know. You might let me give it a go.
Oh, I don't know.
So what are the projects? Well, we can't launch them yet, but we've got some exciting ones in the pipeline.
What are they?
Trips
Oh, yes.
abroad.
So we're going to Brazil.
Well, we hopefully will.
So
be.
Simon, you have the call for that tomorrow.
Yeah.
To see what's going on.
With
So
our partner.
it's probably worth now saying, for people who don't know, your relationship now with media and what you do.
I'm the one that does all the work to make things
Oh,
happen.
here we go. It's like him being the best skier out of the group, isn't it? It's a lot of hot air. A lot of hot air.
Also the truth.
So you deal with all the commercial side. So you
Correct.
deal with our brand partners and everyone like that because you're good at admin.
Good at admin. That's,
Really
that's
good at
right.
admin. Love a spreadsheet.
Send you a meeting invite, and every time, even though I know you're doing nothing with your day, you click tentative.
And then
Your
get a phone call
favourite thing.
6 minutes later saying, why can't you make this meeting?
And then I have James, who ignores it until 5 seconds before, and I see him going in, and I get accepted by James Bank.
Do you think potentially that you could be the one to blame, not us?
We don't work like this.
Absolutely, honestly.
Simon's trying to drag us
Hoarding.
into the corporate
Well,
world,
I think,
kicking and screaming.
well, hold on a
That's
second. We
the
must just
problem.
put some clarity on this. So Simon says so many emails. He has his own folder
that we auto-filter the emails to.
but all his emails go into and I don't look at. And I would imagine there's best part of 800 in there. And just to put it into and some, yeah, that's probably true. And just to put it in, then occasionally what he does is he knows full well I don't look at them, right? So all he's trying to do is cover himself
See why
to say if
exercise.
something goes, I told you,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
So I know exactly what you are because you come out of the corporate world. So he then takes a picture, screenshots it to me and WhatsApp
I
to
do.
me. And then I go, I look at it either on WhatsApp or I go on the email and open it up just to look at the one particular one. But that's just so he doesn't say, I don't have to read them all. Because, I mean, anything you're CC'd into, honestly, you don't need to be copied into. It's ridiculous.
I've dropped it a bit.
Have you?
A little
Oh,
bit.
really?
Oh, you calmed it down?
Oh, we haven't noticed.
I mean, for the record, we were out skiing 2 days prior to Simon, and I was going up the chairlift, and I got 3 emails on the same chairlift up I could see come through on my watch from Simon.
Yes, because you were having a couple of days break before our business development.
Oh, sorry, I didn't become
meetings.
business
Well,
development
when
when you
I
turned
arrived-
up.
when I
Oh, right,
arrived
okay.
on
And the only
Sunday.
reason you didn't come with us is because you were messing about with children.
Yeah.
Because you've got 17 children.
It's like the Pied Piper of children,
Yes,
isn't it?
yeah. So
Just for clarity, how
that's
many
in
have you got? How many?
Six. There are six
children.
of them.
6 children,
So,
yeah.
so they'll all be there
So
for
on this
Christmas.
bench currently, there are 9 children,
There are
divorces.
2 children and 1 adult. Yeah,
9 children between us, 2 divorces
I
between
don't know, you
us.
haven't got any children.
I said on this bench.
And they haven't been married.
I'm not bringing a great deal to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did some data analysis.
The
on
data
that.
analysis on the divorce rate at PX Farms is
Quite high.
quite high.
Yeah, quite high. In fact, actually, it would probably pay me to put in a chapel. Yeah.
Diversity, Simon, get on it.
I'll get 80 baby reds.
Yeah. 5 is never enough.
It's actually 5. That's a real
Your
number.
father's had 5 wives.
Oh, you're
Well, he
right.
doesn't count them all quite as wives, but I do. Yeah.
So look, we've been on this for 18 months. The industry has changed massively since we kicked this off. When I joined you, there was still BPS in the end of its tenure, wasn't there?
Correct.
There's now even no SFI.
Yeah.
We were coming
Well,
up.
unless of course you are already signed into the SFI and the payments are still coming, but they are coming to an end effectively. There's great promises of something coming that hasn't happened. So effectively this could be, by some, the last payments this Christmas. And I think there may be another one next year for some, depending upon when they signed in. Some lost it out last year.
Fine, but we've made the cut on the land we wanted to put in. There's a few little bits left in SFI for us, and that really is. That will then be it, won't it?
Yeah.
And then what's your plan? So when the SFI runs out, because our SFI blocks are small fields that for us are tricky to farm. The big kit doesn't quite fit very well in them. Would you say that's fair?
No, not necessarily, because you're referring to land which took out of production as opposed to cover crops. That's SFI as well. Well, we put the cover crops in on fields which are going into spring crops, or we've done catch crops, which are, for example, land that's come out of beans and going into wheat and things like that. So there were different forms of SFI which came on, and I mean, honestly, the whole thing's a nonsense. I think we'll look back in time at all of this and we'll be embarrassed about what we were doing in farming.
So when the SFI does come to a close, do you have any plans for the business from that point, or will it be then to recrop everything as standard? Were you going to plough it over?
No, I think that depending upon who you farm for and what they believe in, of course, is what often, if you get a new schemes come out, you may go into schemes according to those landowners, because some may wish to be involved in certain regenerative schemes or SFI schemes because it suits what they want to achieve out of their own farms. So we follow those wishes. On a wider basis, if it's land which is maybe on a tenanted or owned, you have more flexibility in that, and you would make a decision based on the financials, because what people forget about a lot of this is not free money. You often think an SFI, they're going to pay you, I don't know, let's say £300 a hectare to do something, but the reality is you've got to pay for the inputs and you've got to do all the work. You soon get left for very little. So it looks like money that's come in, but there's money that secretly went out the other end. You've got to be careful that actually you don't end up in a position where you are by default subsidising these schemes.
Because it's probably worth saying that for our business, there's a lot of what Simon does on the diversity side is almost our version of SFI and BPS now, isn't it? That kind of subsidising
alternative incomes
and the alternative incomes that are being created around that.
Well, how that came about was effectively my father had been converting buildings from 1985 into outside agricultural use in terms of units turning into new income streams, and then houses that, as the workforce has diminished from the 50s, 60s, 70s, they then started to create short hold tenancies, rental arrangements on houses as mechanisation took hold. So there's been a period of diversification that's been going on the farm now for several generations. And Simon came on board, and we've gone another level. I'd started to do it, and Simon's taken it on and turned it into, in itself, a very successful enterprise on the business. Actually, if you strip farming out, interestingly, out of the overall structure, and you look at certain aspects of the business, and you take into account, in particular, the diversification, you will actually find that diversification itself, if you didn't have any outgoing costs, is more profitable for the activity of farming. And farming, in some sense, is a tremendous drain. So if you take the overall business, the landowners we farm for, and whether it's contract farm or whether it's rental land, are getting almost a sure amount of income and doing quite well because we absorb all the costs. And the idea of what Simon's doing is to take buildings that aren't suitable for modern day or our modern day version of agriculture and creating alternative income streams, which is in a lot of view, in our view really, is just like having a different crop or having an alternative business, if whether it's chickens, pigs, cattle, beef, etc. We've decided we're not livestock orientated, but we will use building rental incomes as a form of our version of farming, as well as building houses to employ people, or whether to let other properties out, which may be not suitable for farm guys, to create different income stream. We've got the offices, got the units, got the houses, and got all the building rentals. I mean, Simon, you're now, what have you got? If you counted all the offices and everything, and all the agreements, we would be getting towards 400 agreements, but you would be looking after what, about 240 agreements?
Yeah, I should think so. And sorry, go on.
And you would probably have made, wouldn't you yourself? I'm going to suggest about 220 of those.
Yeah.
Because I'd have had some maybe 20 to 30 agreements prior to your arrival, but of course, we talked about it a bit on the car today, didn't we? Even the small agreements, however small they might be, you get enough of them.
Yeah.
All the little bits and pieces, marginal gains.
Yeah.
As we know, corners of yards, whether it's £50 a year, it all adds up.
Yeah.
And how long we've been doing it? 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And we keep building it, and you never know where it's going to go. And you look at how we've broadened it, and some of the conversations we've had this trip in our long business development lunches.
3 to 4 hour
3 to 4 hour business development lunches, but we've caught all of those actions, and then you look at the breadth of ideas we're thinking about, and again, probably for the first time ever, you are now seriously thinking, actually, am I better off not either keeping a farm on or not taking a new farm on, and looking at some of these diversification ideas. What have we spoken about? Paddle?
Yeah.
Getting massive. We know there are a few farms that have done that.
Just to put that into perspective, because that is quite a strong statement you just made.
I knew
there.
James was not going to let that run. There was no way that was going to stay in.
No, I'm not content with that. just to put that into perspective, what that is actually referring to is if you take 1,000 acres on and you've got to find £1 million to bankroll it, what could you have done with £1 million that would have guaranteed a much stronger income? I mean, you did the table early on the journey here, and we were looking at it. You know, you named all the various projects we talked about on this trip, and it got to £6 million. That's what the requirement would be to deliver those projects. But you were equally looking at returns of 15 and 22%. Whereas farming, we're struggling in a lot of respect on asset value in relation to get 2%. So actually, the point is where is your money better placed if there isn't a finite amount of money available?
Yeah.
That was, I think, is more the point.
And I think the plan is we're then taking these conversations that we've had away, back to the business, pulling everyone internally, and let's just see and reprioritise potentially what we're getting up to. But I think at the end of the day, we are still a farm first and foremost.
Yeah, but it's a proper joined-up approach is what we're now trying to bring. And that's what a lot of the discussions were about, weren't they? What are the sort of the ramifications of making some of these decisions, and how can we, the digitalisation side?
Digitalisation will be the big bit, yeah. So with that, we're looking to see what areas of the business can, using technology, be more streamlined, so we can go from running 12 to maybe 24 lorries, or that kind of approach to things. We can see efficiencies, and we've already started, James, haven't we, with the class data and the telematics, that moving from 35 hectares a day to 50 hectares a day has changed how we do harvest, and the ability that's left for the lorries to get back onto other work has changed the financial outcome of that side of the business.
Well, it's trying to find the information that's actually readable.
Yeah.
There's so much information about, but so little of it can become relevant.
And if you can't display it all on your phone, you've lost interest already, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, the reality is, who has time to sit through reams and reams of bits of information, sitting there trying to come to conclusion, and at that stage you're so far past when the time was and when you were doing it that it becomes meaningless. And that's one of the difficulties with farming. It's so seasonally and annually based. But you are, I talk about 20 harvests left that I've got, and it's a bit tongue-in-cheek, obviously, because, it's a well-known fact in the business, I'll never die. So, but if you think if you've only got 20 harvests left, that means, in a crude way, if you only look at that data on an annual basis, you can only make a difference for the following year, and the following year, and the following year. Actually, you haven't got many decisions that you can make. To make a difference. So what we need to do is we want information on a daily basis that we can act on. And we talked about this, didn't we? The digitalisation. Okay, so you said to Simon, okay, so what information are we going to pull? And Simon's reply was everything.
Yeah.
And once we've got everything, we'll work out.
We'll chop it down from there.
Yeah.
Join the dots.
Because if we don't do that, the issue we've got is that we then constantly, we focus maybe on the wrong area.
Yeah.
And we can't make the marginal gains or make the big gains. I mean, it may be we can't make the 20% differences, but if we can make lots of twos,
it's all helpful.
I mean, that combine, just in particular, just put that into perspective. I know 35 to 50 doesn't sound, a great achievement in some respects, but in terms of, incomes, the income saving isn't from the combine gets cheaper necessarily, because it may be the same amount of fuels being used and the labour gets deployed elsewhere, which is a saving, and then you've got the opportunity cost of doing other work, but also the lorries and the grain stores switch off the electric running, or they go start doing other people's work, or the lorries go off doing other work. That's actually where we can make money, just from focusing on what would look like a farming cost, but actually all the other sides of the business start to benefit.
Well, it's like we were discussing it while I've been away. That efficiency in the combines means if we did take on another 2,000 hectares, do we need another combine?
2,000 acres you would.
2,000 acres we would be all right.
Which is, 1,000 hectares you'd be all right.
Yeah.
But 2,000 hectares you would be talking about a fifth combine.
A bit tight.
Yeah.
Or 4 18-metre combines.
Well, of course,
Simon got him.
I like it, but there are some unloading issues. They haven't resolved the unloading issue.
Oh, you need a longer auger?
Well, they don't make them that long.
Fine.
So
and that's what you see in Australia, where they've got the conveyor belts that come.
But that's why, if you remember at Trimble, we went to the Trimble stand
Yep.
in Agritechnica, and we were talking to them about the combine controlling the chaser bin, because if you are now going to have these wider headers, and we don't want to have the system which the Wandale family have done, where the auger goes out the back, and you want to have it on the side, then you have a limitation of that tractor is going to have the ability to run into the back of the header.
Yep.
So you've got to have the control from the combine, so that distance can never be minimised and breached. Yeah. And sadly, that is not currently possible with that make. And I know John Deere obviously doing it. I don't know. We'd need to talk to them about how well it would work in that scenario of actually the only place it can escape to is into the back of the header, if that's realistic. But of course, an 18-metre headers will be at some point will be the norm.
And an 18-metre avatar.
Oh well, they're already available. I mean, they make sense now.
They're available, but not quite available in our yard.
Well, that's a minor problem. That could be very quickly solved by one phone call. That's never offering to give
bank first, then
offering to give somebody money. I've never found to be a difficult problem for anyone to.
Don't we know that?
Oh, apart from my life assurance, that's the only industry I've ever come across where you offer to give the money and they put every obstacle possibly in the way.
Did we get to the bottom of that? Because I noticed you're very tentative skiing, and I thought, maybe the policy isn't done yet. Did we get to the bottom of that?
Well, after you made me drink 2 Glühweins, that may have been why I was
how many equivalent beers did you tell Simon and I that was equivalent to?
10 beers. That was equivalent to 10 beers. Well, you see, if you don't drink and you make somebody have 2 Glühweins...
Make, I think, is a strong
next
word.
Thing you know, they're dancing on tables and all sorts.
I'll put that clip in now. You're enjoying this podcast format, aren't you?
You said you felt 20 again.
I did.
How old are you feeling now? 10 to 10.
49.
Oh, you have promised us a big birthday party next year.
Oh, yeah.
We did talk about
Becky's
that.
50th bash.
Yeah, got all excited.
Yeah. I'm very unhappy about that number.
Half a century?
I'm very unhappy about it.
Why?
I don't like it.
Yeah, but we discussed on this holiday we wouldn't go back though, didn't we? We said we wouldn't go back and have the years again.
Oh, no, that's not what you asked me. You asked me, would I go back to being at college?
Yeah. Well,
I said no. You didn't ask me if I'd go back in time to another age.
And would you?
Well, but I did ask you if
Yes.
knowing that you've got it all to do.
1920s, that's when I'd go back to. Or the 1930s when all those farms were available.
Right, so now we've looked back. What about looking forwards? 2026.
We're tendering for more land.
What does it look like in terms of your expectation? Obviously, we've got hopes and dreams, realistic expectations. What would a good year look like?
So everything was drilled perfectly. Everything looks really good. Amazing conditions, apart from where we've had the bandits in digging trenches all over the place. And a surprising amount of those fields have been turned over. I bet we've got a good 12 fields at least. No, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be more like, I bet it's over 20-something fields we've had people in. But we are on the trajectory currently, early drilled, big biomass, looking splendid. Chemical control currently working, could be change a lot come spring. If we don't get a drought and we actually get the right conditions, we could be having some big bumper harvests. And the current numbers, which look low on a gross margin when you look at the yields we just had, actually the numbers today on a big yield, 10, 11 tonne a hectare, on wheat for example, 9 or 10 on barley, all of a sudden we are rocking and a rolling. We are doing very well.
I mean, that would change the outcome of the business in that sense, wouldn't it? I mean, the profitability on farming.
We've had 3 years of losing money on farming, which all the other enterprises we've been doing have been, one for a better word, subsidising the losses made in farming due to the poor, droughts and.
But I mean, the reality is, you're wired in such a way that even if we did do 12 tonne a hectare, it's not like you're going to go live a lavish life. You might have a holiday or two, but that's all getting reinvested. We'll go again. That is the mentality, and that's how it's always been, isn't it? Sorry.
Another.
We've lost Jim Boats.
It wasn't TikToky time, though.
It wasn't TikToky time.
It was for air hostesses.
Justified.
I can't wait to the soundproof studio
the whole business model is about growth. I truly believe you have to make a decision in farming that you either don't go anywhere and you just do your time and you stay as you are, you don't take any risk necessarily, and you do that, or you go for growth, and everything you're making is basically being reinvested into the farm, and everything I've made is reinvested. I almost aspire to only break even in a sense on paper, so that I don't pay any tax, and actually all of the money that has been made has been reinvested in building new buildings, building infrastructure, buying land, taking on new farms. You know, that creates an overdraft, as I said, £1 million for every 1,000 acres you take on, etc. And some people say to me, you know, why do you do that, James? Well, the reality is, when I look back, when I was at college, I did 5 years at 2 different colleges, and I came back to the family farm, there wasn't really room for me. And as it turned out, I ended up, you know, I was driving the machinery, etc., and obviously father was in charge, and that worked. But the reality was, I was at best, I could only ever drive the machinery for the family. Mm-hmm. There was no room to do anything else, because the incomes that were being taken out of the business at that time were outstripping any opportunity to do anything else. So, of course, unless you do the model I'm on, effectively, I would, at best, I just don't think I would have been able to have looked after the children. I don't think I would have, I don't know what position I would have been in. I think the farm would have been sold.
And that is well worth, Tom, bringing up the link for those that haven't heard it. Your podcast, all about that, when you came back to the farm, and your first big project.
Yeah.
And I won't spoil it for the viewers, but the first big one didn't go as you'd hoped.
No.
You learned a lot.
Yeah.
For what Simon's referencing there is a certain grain store that didn't quite go tickety-boo. Is that
Aberdeen grain store, where my first big project, and it started to fall down.
Bow.
I mean,
actually, the
went
funny
onwards from there.
But no, because actually there's always a disaster. I mean, they are continuous, and actually, I think anybody that doesn't have problems is probably not trying.
100%.
And the reality is,
Same could be said for Simon's king.
Well, no, yours. I fell over. Thank you.
You both fell over.
Because I was pushing
and do you know who didn't fall over?
So you there, you fall.
Me.
You
I didn't fall
pushing
over.
You weren't pushing it.
I was.
Which explains why we were waiting at the bottom of the lift.
I've just got more skill.
Right.
So, in reality, the skill is, I think, is being able to grow asset and create growth within the constraints of the cash flows that you have, which asset then produces the ability to grow. So you cannot really do it without the two together. And I remember it was Gary Salas from NatWest, who was our bank manager for 17 years, an extraordinary man. And he said to me, you know, probably 3-4 years into me starting up PX Farms, James, you're going to need to create some asset. Because at that time I was very much cash focused as opposed to asset focused. He said, and he said, if you don't do this, you're going to be in a position that unless you can generate cash, you're going to be completely restricted in growth.
Your asset to generate the assets to then borrow against to grow.
Correct.
There's no good just having one without the other.
And the reality is, so, you know, people say to me, well, how do you sleep at night, you know, with debt, etc. Well, the reality is I either do nothing, and as I said, I just think we'd be in a position of nowhere. Or we'd be in a bad place now and we'd be selling up. Or, you know, and if the merry-go-round stops for whatever reason, then actually the position I put myself in and the family in will last them for generations. So it hasn't been the wrong thing to do. I think the secret's got to be going forward, now that we've gone into a non-subsidised industry, is actually how we're going to make the profit on a world market stage when we've actually got scale being driven around the world, which can produce crops cheaper, logistics which can bring it to our borders cheaper effectively from what we can grow it. We are, by definition, hoping that there is a UK market and the government needs food security, and that is the only thing we're holding on to effectively in terms of farming, unless I can create the same level of growth and scale that I can compete with internationally, because I've got the volume of area and my costs come down. I mean, the costs now running the business today to what they were if they were half the size or a quarter the size. I mean, there's a lot of aspects. you know, we've got Jenny and Marit, for example, in the office, and they're looking after 12,000 acres, 12 trucks and all those properties. Well, they'd still be there if we had 6,000 acres. Yeah. And actually, if we went to 18,000 acres, they'd still be there. Yep. They wouldn't actually need a third or a fourth person, because the reality is, as you said, you talked about your digitalisation, and actually I suspect, you know, listening to what you've said on the journey in the last few days here, our next stage, I think, potentially in growth and in affordability of things, is going to have to be adapting to that model, which isn't really my focus.
We'll be dragging you through kicking and screaming. I do know that, but
well, I don't necessarily trust it. I still, as you know, I print everything out and I write on it in ink pen
on every invoice.
But then I remember every number.
Yeah.
Every invoice I sign off, I remember, and you can ask me a number and I'll be able to tell you what it said. But if it was on the screen, which a lot of people work like that in a paperless environment, my brain doesn't work in that way. I don't record it.
But it does work in the way that if it was on a screen that you could sign off whilst you're on holiday or look at desert farming,
yep,
you could sign it off.
Well,
that did appeal to you.
Yeah, it did, yeah. As long as, well, yes, okay, we're going to have to modernise.
IT means more holidays, Simon. Tom, go and figure out the system. Well, look, I think that gives us a good place to tidy up, because it does say go to gate at long last on that board up there. So I think...
Oh, what? Hold on.
Oh, God.
Let me look. The one behind us?
That everyone's still sitting at, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But look, we will do the draw of the raffle tomorrow, and we'll add it to the end of this video. So this is the next clip that's coming. And... well, we wish everyone a happy Christmas.
A few more thoughts, Tom.
Go on.
As we said, this is the start, so
yes.
Apologies.
This is
for
going to improve significantly.
Rustic nature and forecast, but we've got some exciting ideas where we think they are. Maybe we could create a phone-in.
Yep.
With the audience, with the viewers, a bit of a Better Ask James, Better Ask PX type. Give our view on the world.
I can see his brain thinking.
Some special guests on.
Liz Hurley?
Simon,
approved.
Get on the phone to Liz.
Well, if you can get Liz Hurley on, that'll suit me. Yeah.
And so we want to build it.
Yep. This is just the
audience interaction.
Yeah. Any comments? We do read them all on every video we do. So get them in.
Do you know who Liz Hurley is?
Oh, it's one of those old women you're interested in. It's quite a long list, that is,
Don't
Jimbo.
necessarily like all the comments, though, do we? I've apparently had a lot of hard paper around.
Yeah. That's only because you try to end up.
It's because I'm managing you two.
Really?
That's why.
So I must just tell you this story.
Oh.
So in this accommodation we stayed in the hotel, we actually had 2 beds, and fortunately, due to my position, I had a bed to myself, and these 2 had to stay in a bed together. But the way the configuration of the room was. Would you want some clarity on that?
Well, no, there was a gap. Let's make that clear.
What gap?
A small gap.
How big a gap?
Okay, look, Simon's hand reached over a few times.
Anyway, the way the room was configured, you could open the doors of the 2 bedrooms, and the camaraderie was on another level, wasn't it? In fact, I've laughed more in the last 4 days than I have done in 40 months, I think. I mean, it was absolutely... I mean, it was to the point that people were even laughing with us on the lifts, weren't they? Because
I was in tears, and even Emmy and Matilda could hear us laughing from their bedroom.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Really?
Well, look, on that note, Simon and I will raise the invoices for such chuckles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll see the
Merry
viewers.
Christmas all.
Oh, yeah. And hopefully we'll get Chuckle Cousin on.
There you go.
Come on.